I asked Wilma when they came in how many years they had been married. She said 60 years. I said, what's the secret? She said, it'll take too long to tell you. Jimmy, if it's all right with you, we're going to just let everybody ask questions, tell stories of the show, if you've got a few minutes to stick around. We'll start up here, and we'll start with this young man right here. Listen, yeah. We'll start with this young man right here, and then we'll just, if you had an experience with the Kilgos Kanteen story that you want to tell, we've got the room till 9 o'clock, 9:30. Let's give Jonathan's and all the waitresses a big round of applause. They always do a great job. We picked up the phone and said we were coming, and they said, how many are you going to have? And they said, come on, bring them on. We've never had a bit of problem with Sherry and her staff. All right, go right ahead.
I'd like to tell a little story about Jimmy. He got called on the carpet at WSOC. And the story has to do, I just learned this evening. I was sharing with Jimmy earlier that my twin sister and I did some spotlight dancing. And there was a fella that ran a men's store in Charlotte, Sherman Levine. And Sherman Levine was a big sponsor of Kilgos Kanteen. He contracted for 1 minute on the show. How long did he take with his presentations when he would tell what I was wearing?
At least 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes. So Jimmy got called into the office and say, hey, this Levine guy, you know, he's contracted for 1, you're giving him at least 5 minutes. So that was one of his interesting scenarios. Well, a little side story about Mr. Levine. We would go over when we were scheduled to be spotlighted, and he would dress myself and my twin sister, got some outfits and mattress and other kind of things, and then we would wear it. Now, when the show was over, this was the latest duds. I mean, just the latest stuff. And so I went to Sherman and I said, Mr. Levine, may I keep these? Guess what he said? No. He said, but you can have them for half price.
All right. He said, tell the story.
During my junior year at Central High School, there were 5 of us who thought it'd be fun to blow up a toilet. I got kicked out for 6 weeks in the middle of the winter school term, along with 4 others. There were 2 of us who went to tutors during that 6-week period of time and went back to school and graduated with our class, as we should.
Other danced on your show, plus I watched it every Saturday morning, but it was just a little bit before my time. I was right at the end of it. I watched my brothers and sisters dance on it, but my cousins were the Beecham Boys.
Oh, I remember them.
Right. They all 5 danced on your show.
Yes, there were 5.
Yes, sir. There was 5 of them. They called it Gene and Bo Rose.
I wasn't supposed to miss church on Wednesday night, so I had to sneak out.
My sister took dance lessons there, too.
Then we didn't want to
My
watch
sister
TV
said
on
that
Saturday.
she said that they had to wear those wool costumes, and she didn't like that very much. It was real hot, especially on the stage underneath all the lights.
Yes.
In that year, we all
She blamed you.
Me, I was Sandy Wooten, and I will stop talking, I promise. I promise I'll stop. How many Kilgo girls we have in here? Can I ask them to stand up? How many? We have you weren't a Kilgo girl. You were? Well, I was at Rose School of Dancing, and I got to wear G occasionally to fill in an I. But the thing that I remember the most is, you see, my father is a Baptist minister. And I was not permitted to do that, so my mother loved to dance, and she didn't want Daddy to know, so she let me sneak out of church and go to the tapings on Wednesday, and then we had to try to keep him from watching TV on Saturday, because I wasn't supposed to be there.
The Catalina's up.
The Catalina, come on up here. Don't be shy.
We need to get
I was waiting on somebody else to come up because when I start talking, I talk too long. I've already told Jimmy about this. I want to tell y'all a couple of stories. In 1959, we started a band called the Catalinas. Jimmy had the first Kilgos Kanteen Talent Contest. We won it, and our prize was a trip to Myrtle Beach. And we played at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion, and we thought that's the biggest thing going. Jimmy Kilgo started the Catalinas, who, by the way, are still going today. Still playing, not us. Switch it forward about 5 years later, Hootenannies were real popular. We had a group called the Slimy River Bottom Boys. We debuted that, Kilgos Kanteen. And that led to us booking Hootenannies all over, and it also led to our first and only movie, a movie called Moonshine Mountain, and we always attribute that to Jimmy Kilgo. So from all the Catalinas, we've got 4 or 5 of them here tonight back here at the table. We love you. Thank you so much for starting our music careers, and we're so glad to have had it start on the Kilgos Kanteen. Thank you so much.
The first job I had in radio and television was at WIST. That was Mutual Broadcasting System. That's who we were affiliated with. And I did a late night show from about 9 to 11 or 9 to 12 called Kilgo's Corner. And it was a request. People would call in a request for a song and usually have a dedication for the song. And we had what we called the Kilgo Boys, who would come up and answer the phones, write down what was requested and who it was dedicated to, and they would bring that back to us. We would put it on the air, and that show was on for about 5 years. It started in 1952. Wow.
52. Always pictured you sitting on the corner out.
Jimmy, a lot of us had a discussion going on Facebook today, not only the Catalinas, but you were the guy who gave exposure to Bob Meyer and the Rivieras, Roger and Michael Branch and the Tempest, and Harry Deal and the Galaxies, the Taylors, and probably every wannabe garage rock and roll band in every town in the Channel 9 coverage area.
That's right.
And that's just appreciated.